This was great joy and sadness that I make the next announcement. We have the last roaster coming up. Oh. He's another.
We get up and leave now.
Sure. He's one of our special characters in the club. Also another great guy. He's always. It's like he's watching for his help so he can jump in and save the day, even if it's little things. He's very helpful, very nice. But the thing that I've noticed about him is this guy I'm talking about, that one, he loves to talk about porn. And this is true, every speech that he gives, it's about porn. That seems like every time, not just once, every time. Him. All right? Not somebody else, it's him. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you everything.
News for you, this meeting's going to go over.
I'm going to try the microphone if that's okay. I mean, oh, I'm going to hurry up. Okay, all right, let's go. All right. Holy shit, look at this group of roasters. Based on this group's arrest records for marijuana possession, this isn't a roast, it's a smoke. You guys look like the lobby at King Stallman's bail bonds after a party at Bob's house. Now, despite what it looks like, we're not here to get high with all our friends. We're here to roast Damarys Alicea. Last week, Damarys told everyone not to hold back on the roast, a decision that turns out to have been a big mistake. Start with our roast master, Antonio Garcia. Antonio, congratulations on delivering your 10th speech ago. Let's give it up for Antonio. I'm really glad it was your 10th speech because hopefully that means you'll be taking a long break from speaking. And is it just me, or does anyone else feel like one day Antonio is going to pull out a bow and shoot out an arrow right through those timer lights up there? Antonio is always in excellent shape. If you want to know how he stays in shape, ask him about that exercise program he uses from Pornhub. It's called Bang Fit. It's a real program. And Antonio, Bang Fit works a lot better with two people. All right, who's next? Oh, you better hold your breath because Mike McNaughton is here. Mike, do your Toastmasters guests blink when you shake their hand and fart at the same time? I read a review of our club on Yelp the other day, and the reviewer said, I give this club 1 out of 5 stars, not because of the smell, it was the burning of my eyes. Now, you might have noticed that Mike's a big fan of that Jack White t-shirt of his, not wearing it tonight. Mike told me that he wears it every day because it goes really well with his matching Jack White boxer briefs. Holy shit, look at this room. What a disaster. A bunch of people from Toastmasters and half of them are DTMs. You know, when I first joined Toastmasters, I thought a DTM was an STD. But then I realized a DTM couldn't be an STD because the average Toastmaster with a DTM hasn't got laid since 1989. Here's a guy with a DTM in that category, Christoph Kibbutz. Christoph, as you know, goes over time on all his speeches, at least it seems like it. If you ever need to book a room for a meeting, Christoph will clear that room for you 2 minutes into his speech. Nadine liked that joke a lot, I can hear it. Yeah. But you got to take it easy on our friend Christoph, though, because Christoph had a pretty rough childhood. When he was 10, Christoph lost most of his eyelashes in a bizarre fart lighting accident. It wasn't even his fart. Another guy who got kicked out of France is Surreal. Yes, Surreal's from France, but he still won't let go of the metric system. In fact, Surreal was in bed with his girlfriend the other night, and he says to her, baby, I'm going to give you every centimeter of my life. All 10 of them. Now, that was a math joke, by the way. 10 divided by 2.54. Next up is the guy who probably did the math on that last joke, Chris Hamill. You came up with the number before, Chris, right? Yeah, right. Okay, 4, that number from your math?
Sure.
Good. All right, Chris, you just love to eat, don't you? But who doesn't? Chris loves to eat, especially at restaurants, as long as that restaurant is, of course, Slater's 50/50, In-N-Out, or Five Guys. Chris eats nothing but hamburgers. I asked Chris if he knew what quinoa was, and he said, "Isn't that the name of that martial arts bullshit that Lester does?" Speaking of guys who can create a food shortage at a buffet, Bobby Brown is here. Bobby, you played football in high school, didn't you? You did, right? Okay. Now you can see that he has the perfect body for the sport. Clearly, he was put on the planet to be a punter. Actually, Bobby was an offensive lineman in high school. Now, he didn't actually play on offense. His teammates were offended when he snorted the 50-yard line right off the field. Bobby's the Hoover vacuum of Toastmasters. Now, he's not here tonight, but here's a guy who doesn't suck, John Berman. John is a great guy. I just love him. He looks like a guy who lives on a boat but doesn't own a boat. How did you pull that one off? You ever notice that John's always smiling? But don't get used to it because John recently got married. I wonder if he knows what's worse than being in the friend zone. I know what. Being put in the friend zone by his own wife. Speaking of bad luck with women, Nick Katofsky is here. Nick, you sweat like a teenage boy at his prom in a polyester tuxedo. Hey Nick, this just in, antiperspirant was invented within the last 2 centuries. Like most people from England, Nick is not too smart when it comes to sex. The woman always has to tell Nick what to do. She says, "Put it in, now pull it out. Now put it in, now take it back out." Nick says, "God damn it, make up your mind." That has been my favorite joke since my mom told me that when I was 4. Speaking of malnourished vegans, Amy Fuller couldn't be here tonight, but that's okay. Amy, she was in the club for a while, then she went away, and now she's back. She's like the herpes of Toastmasters. Actually, I feel like Amy's the ultimate woman. She's ultra feminine, sexy, and spiritually in tune with the universe. And did I mention that Amy gives great massages? Getting a massage from Amy is the dry humping of physical therapy. Feels sort of good, but it just ends up leaving you frustrated. I have advice for Amy. Try giving a massage to someone other than your cat. Speaking of rubbing everybody the wrong way, Bob Dietrich's here. Bob, I would like to say that you're the reason I'm still in Toastmasters, but I can't. Bob recently lost in his bid to become Toastmasters District 5 Program Quality Director, according to Who Gives a Fuck magazine. Bob, you're the Titanic of comedy. You weigh too much, all of your jokes tank, and Kate Winslet can't wait to jump off of you. Bob's also a big fan of going to rock concerts. Yeah, here it comes. And somehow he always manages to get backstage. Bob's given more head to lead singers at concerts than Surreal has to keynote speakers at personal growth seminars. Thanks for writing that one for me, Christoph. Speaking of blind ambition leading to shattered dreams, Gina Tompkins is in the house. Your eyes lit up when I said that for some reason. I don't know why. Gina couldn't be here for the roast of Maria Charles a while back, and some people wish she wasn't here today. But actually, when I really need someone who can grab a group of listeners, captivate them with her charisma, and deliver delightful discourse, I look elsewhere. Gina, you are the sleep aid of speakers. The last time you spoke at a seminar for real estate agents, most of the people left your seminar to go to Christoph's seminar on rugby rules. Alberto Aguacate, or whatever your last name is. When are people going to get your last name right, huh? I mean, holy shit, Alberto is a good-looking guy, but you better watch out, ladies. Alberto goes through more antibiotics for STDs in a month than Sofia Corona did the night of her quinceañera. Our club member who Skyped in from the Fertile Crescent is Shadi Abudaye. Shadi has that whole hipster thing going on. He drinks only PBR, hasn't washed his hair since 2006, and when he talks during sex, he sounds like he's doing a fucking podcast. Shadi's a big baseball fan. He says that when he gets married, he wants to have a baseball-themed wedding, appropriately enough. He learned how to switch hit back when he was a catcher at Little League. David Serrano couldn't be here, he had a surgery. David, how's a white guy like him get such a Mexican name? David is so white. If I didn't know better, I thought he was from Ramona. He's whiter than the guys who stand in line for Star Trek conventions. Sam Hepburn.
Oh,
He's laughing a lot tonight. Sam, you're a great guy, but I don't know too much about you. I did find out that Sam is an avid sailboat enthusiast. In fact, Sam, I'll go ahead and put in a plug for your business website. You're going to want to write this down, folks. disposeofabodyatsea.com. Sam told me his idea of the perfect woman is one who is very open-minded when it comes to sex. For more details on this, talk to Sam himself. He's the one in the front wearing a welding helmet and rubber gloves, holding a jar of mayonnaise. Very open-minded. I'm going to definitely skip this next one. Okay, we'll go to the next one. All right. Speaking of an easy spread, Anya Singleton's here today. I was supposed to dovetail with another joke. I apologize for that. Today's Anya's birthday, which explains the annual shortage of vodka in the month of June. Anya's aluminum water bottle right there doesn't even know what water tastes like. Anya's a really nice person, though. Her smile lights up her room, which comes in handy when she's crawling on the floor of a bar looking for her car keys. Oh my God. When she's drinking, which is always, Anya moves her hand up and down more times in an hour than Bob Dietrich does watching a single episode of a Glee rerun. How's that? Aren't you glad? Aren't you glad you got the box set? This evening isn't about hot chicks. It's about Damarys Alicea. Damarys, I want to get the sentimental stuff out of the way so I can get to the good stuff. You're really, truly a loyal friend, and you've always been so generous with your time and talent. And everyone in our club and all of Toastmasters are blessed to have you as a member, and I'm truly blessed to be your friend, okay? That's sincere when I say that. All right, part 2. Damarys Alicea-Eric. You have an amazing wardrobe. I've never seen you wear the same thing twice. Not that you'd want to. Damarys, I've noticed you're always wearing stiletto heels, and I feel like you're always sending me a message with those heels. That message is, you want to come to my place and aerate my lawn. Don't even get me started on your drinking problem, Damarys. If you look up the word intervention on Wikipedia, it has a picture of Damarys topless and pouring top shelf tequila into Tony Rico's shoes. Damarys is from an island near Puerto Rico that used to be used by the U.S. Navy as a bombing range. Since Damarys left that island, now the bombing is happening when Damarys takes the stage. And since that's just about to happen again really soon here, I'm going to give it back to your roast master, Antonio Garcia.